has some abilities. Okay. So, hi, Kyla. Kyla says, I just love everything to do with the moon. Girl, me too. The moon is so magical. And she's the feminine energy. So it like goes so well with us being more feminine. Well, you should have a balance, let's be honest, of feminine and masculine, because we are females, we tend towards more of the feminine energy. And the moon literally encompasses everything that is feminine. She's calming, cooling, in flow. She loves everything. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just jump onto the presentation. Just give me 2 secs. There you can obviously see me. All right, so I'm going to go into presentation mode and we can get going with the workshop. Sorry, I think with everything that is going on in this laptop, it's a little bit lagged. Okay, so welcome to the Manifest with the Moon workshop. I'm so excited, like I said, for this workshop because it is going to be so magical, so mystical. So just make sure you guys will not be disturbed. I want you to really take in as much as you can from this workshop. There is a lot of information, but I'm going to try go through it as slowly as possible and explain it to you in the most easiest way to understand. If you want, grab a pen, grab a paper. If you didn't get to print out the workbook that I made, no stress, pen and a paper will be perfect. This is just so that you can take notes down of whatever resonates with you, whatever you want to remember, whatever stands out, whatever you may want to practice later on, because today is the new moon in Libra. So that's why I decided to have the workshop today, because as you see, as we go through the workshop and I explain the phases of the moon, the new moon is the perfect time to set new intentions, to set new goals, to set new desires, new dreams. So at the end of this workshop, I will take you through the entire process and we can start to work on some manifestations, the process of manifesting. And then, yeah, you can carry that on through into evening if you want to go and then perform some kind of a new moon ritual and new moon ceremony. So it's perfect timing. Just want to see if I missed any comments. Okay, so. All right, how do we go next? There we go. Okay, so what we'll be covering in the workshop today. The magic of cycles. I just want to touch a little bit on cycles because there are cycles in everything in this world. Then I want to go through some manifestation basics. Then we'll dive into the moon phases and what they mean and how to apply them to your manifestation process. Then the Zodiac Signs, we all know them. I think there's been a lot of misconception around zodiacs. I mean, I remember reading my horoscope in the U magazine when I was a teenager. But there's so much more to it. And I think it's kind of been bastardized the way it's been portrayed in Western society, but there really is so much science and magic to the zodiac. So I'm just going to touch a little bit on that and how you can also bring that into your manifestation practice. Then we're going to dive into the golden rules of manifestation. These are so important. This is where I think a lot of people go wrong, where a lot of people make mistakes, and where a lot of people get frustrated with the manifestation process and give up entirely because they're either skipping steps or are not following the necessary steps in order to make this manifestation process of yours completely foolproof. Then I'm going to take you through a little guided manifestation meditation just to get you in the zone, and we'll talk about getting in the zone through this workshop. And then I'm going to take you through the foolproof manifestation method. And then there's an exciting little announcement at the end, but I'll save the best for last. So let's jump into what is manifestation. I surprised myself even. So manifestation is bringing something tangible into your life through action and belief, i.e. think it and it will become. And the two main words there are action or attraction, but in retraction is the word action and belief. So I'll gonna dive into so much juicy info throughout this workshop. So this will all make more sense by the end of the workshop. Hello, Teresa. Just guys, if I can't see your comments, I'm sorry. I always have an issue with the comments in this group when I do live. So if I don't see your comments and I don't answer questions, I'm not being rude. I just didn't see them, but yeah, I'll try my best. Okay, so manifesting is making everything you want to feel and experience a reality via your thoughts, actions, beliefs, and emotions. Now, it's important to remember that you attract what you are. I'm sure you've heard this before, but if I break this down into the most simplest terms, what you think about on a constant basis is what you're going to attract. So if you are constantly thinking about the lack of something, you are going to attract more lack of that. So that's why one of the main reasons I wanted to create this workshop for you guys is because this is where a lot of people go wrong. They put out all these desires and these goals and these dreams that they want to manifest, but all they do is focus on it not happening already, it not being there. So, I mean, let's just say, for instance, you want to manifest more money into life, then you spend the rest of the time focusing on the money that you don't have, the fact that you don't have money coming into your account, the fact that you don't have the amount of money that you need, and you land up manifesting more of that into your life, which means you manifest more of not having money. So that's what they're saying, you attract what you are, is because it's so important to fully embody the version of yourself that has already manifested these things. I'll dive into this as we go through the workshop, but I just want to make this point so clear that you need to embody the version of yourself that has already manifested your desires. Okay, so when you set goals, do you focus on the feelings of having achieved that goal or the lack thereof? So that basically sums up what I just said. You need to focus on the feelings that you have, that you will have when you've achieved the goals, not the lack thereof. Alrighty. Okay. The magic of cycles. So, sorry. Pretty much everything in life goes through cycles. Think about it. The seasons, summer, winter, spring, autumn. Our menstrual cycle, we go through ovulation, menstruation, pre-ovulation, all those phases. The moon phases, new moon, full moon, quarter moon, crescent moon, which we'll also go into. So as the seasons changes, so do our lives. And life is constantly changing in these seasons. So through every season, there is a purpose. And this is why I'm going to explain to you why we need to try sync our manifestation process with the phases of the moon, because there's so much magic in that. There's so much beauty in that. And like life, everything's always changing. So obviously your manifestation process is going to be changing and going through cycles of motivation, inspiration, then making plans, then taking action, then reviewing and resting. So we'll go through all of those, but I just think it's so important for you to remember that there's so much importance in seasons. Without summer, there would be no beautiful plants, no rain, no nothing. But then we need the winter for the plants to shed the seeds, plant the seeds, give them time to dig down into the ground, not that they dig down into the ground, I know that, but get their way down into the ground. And then when spring comes, for the seeds to sprout and grow, summer, this rain to water them again, and it goes like that. So there's so much importance in cycles of life. Okay. So I found this quote and I just thought it was so beautiful with relation to cycles and seasons. So it says, for everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. So I think that just beautifully sums up the types of cycles that we go through: life, death, happiness, sadness, cleaning out, getting more. So you can see there's just so many different ways that cycles are present in our day-to-day lives, and they're not going anywhere. So why not sync our manifestation process with the cycles of the moon? So like I said, we also have phases in our menstrual cycle, and I just found this infographic that I thought was really cool. So obviously we go through our moon time, or our menstruation section of our menstrual cycle. Then we go into pre-ovulation, which is just before your body releases eggs. Ovulation is when you're releasing the eggs. Premenstrual is just before you get your next bleed. So it was quite interesting if you compare your cyclical seasons of your menstrual cycle to that of seasons as well. So you can see, like, springtime is when everything blooms, and that ties in with your pre-ovulation. It's just before your eggs release. Summer is ovulation, which is when you release these eggs. Your premenstrual is autumn, which is when your lining is about to shed, which is the same thing as trees shed their leaves. And then a winter is when you shed your layers of your uterus, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not a sex or body coach here. So you can see there's like such synchronicities in cycles within us and without us. All right, so let's hop on to the moon phases and their symbolism. So I'm really hoping you guys can see me. Please, can someone send me a thumbs up? Okay, so the moon phases and their symbolism. Each moon phase is good for one thing or another. Here is an outline for what each phase of the moon represents and how to use it for your manifestation process. So I've put a little picture here of the phases of the moon. So you can see it starts here from the new moon, and then we move into the moon building up to the full moon, and then it decreases back to the new moon. So before I even dive into the phases of the moon, this is how I think about it when I look at the moon. I think about it as a charging battery. So when your battery is empty, and you can think about it as the battery icon on your phone, there's nothing in there, it's empty, which is so similar to the new moon. And this is obviously a good time to plug your phone in, but also to now start a new cycle of manifestation. So this is why it's perfect to start setting intentions, writing down your dreams, your goals, your desires at the new moon. And then as your battery starts to charge, the same as the moon starts to fill up to get to the full moon, this is when you get your momentum and you start to list out the ways that you can achieve these goals and start to take aligned action and get to the peak phase where you are feeling energized and excited because things are starting to happen. And then after the full moon, think of it as the battery starting to die again. So this is where you start to reevaluate, reflect, see what lessons have come up, what's working, what isn't, and then eventually get to that period of rest again before you start the cycle all over again. So I just thought, for me, the battery is like such a cool way to think about how the new moon, the moon phases and the moon cycles work, because it's like pretty much exactly the same, filling up and then dying out. Okay, so let's dive into the waxing moon versus the waning moon. So you can see here, the waxing moon is the phase from when it goes from new moon to the full moon. So it's building up, it's getting bigger, it's getting brighter, it's getting more full. And then the waning moon is when it starts to decrease, when it starts to lose its fullness and go back to being an empty-ish at the new moon. Okay, so the waxing moon, like I said, comparing it to a battery being charged, this is when you focus on creative magic, which means diving into manifestation, writing down your dreams and goals, finding the ways that you can achieve these goals and actually taking action in achieving them. It's so important for you to remember to think positively. I just saw a spelling error. Think positively during this phase, and grow your confidence during this phase. It's so important to remember that our thoughts literally create our tomorrow, and we can actually control our thoughts. But unfortunately, from the conditioning that we have been through our entire lives, we think mostly negative most of the time. So if you compare, and I've put this in the slides further, so I'll probably mention this again, but if you compare your thoughts to the fertilizer that you're putting into the soil where you are planning on planting seeds, would you put poison, negative, like unhealthy, really not nice soil into this ground? Or would you put fertilized, positive, nutrient dense, really like a positive environment kind of soil into the ground? Obviously, you're going to choose the positive type of soil, the nutrient dense, the happy, the fulfilled, the good soil. So this is how your thoughts come into manifestation. You really need to start watching your thoughts and really take a step back and start thinking more positively. And I know it sounds too easy, and I know it's not as easy said as done, but the saying change your thoughts, change your lives is no joke. It really is so true. This is what I do with most of my clients, is changing their thoughts. And this has the biggest and most profound effect on them going forward. So really thinking positively during this waxing moon phase of the moon cycles is going to help you with your manifestation process a million times over. Hello, Alicia. Okay, then affirmations will encourage a positive attitude, and I'll get to affirmations, but affirmations honestly changed my life. And even if you feel like a fool standing in the mirror and telling yourself you're awesome, you're gorgeous, you are amazing, you are worthy, trust me, that is sinking in on a subconscious level, and it's really going to have such a good effect on you and your subconscious, and like seeps into your conscious over time. So don't cast it off as a silly exercise that doesn't work. You obviously haven't done it for long enough. Affirmations honestly changed my life. Before launching my very first coaching program, affirmations in the shower was my everyday thing. And I can promise you now, I felt like a imposter saying half the things that I was saying, but now when I say them, they've all come true. So there is definitely some kind of magic in affirmations. Okay, then stand in front, okay, like that. So I don't have to read that last part. So the waning moon is obviously when the moon starts to lose its fullness and go back to the new moon. So this is when you can focus on doing work to diminish your doubts and lessen your anxiety. I'll get into this later as well. But as you can see, the waxing moon is more like the positive, energetic, motivated energy, where the waning moon is like the resting, reflective, take a step back, maybe release that stuff that's not really working, not really serving you anymore. And a really cool way to, and obviously I'm going to jump into these, the ways to diminish your doubts and stuff a little bit later, but a really cool way is to visualize all of your problems gradually decreasing with the moon. So even if you go outside every single night from the full moon forward towards the new moon and see the moon getting smaller and smaller, just imagine that those are your fears, your doubts, your limits, your negative thoughts, ideas, beliefs that are going away with the moon. Okay, and then this is also the perfect time to start getting rid of all that no longer serves you, bad habits, limiting beliefs, negative mindsets, toxic relationships, etc., etc., etc. Okay, Now we dive into the phases of the moon. Okay, so like I said, the new moon is the perfect time to set new intentions, to really sit down and think about what it is that you want for your life, for tomorrow, for next week, for next month, for next year. It doesn't have to be career related or money related. It can be anything, whether it's wanting to foster deeper relationships with your family or with your friends, or if you just want to start being more positive. There are so many things that you can really focus on when it comes to manifesting. Obviously, like the hot topics are money, career, and weight loss. But just so you know, you can literally manifest anything into your life. So at the new moon, this is like a clean slate. Think about it. You look up there is nothing there. So this is your clean slate. This is where it's time to plant the seeds of your future dreams. So remember, I spoke about the soil. These are the thoughts, the beliefs, all the things that you've laid down for you to now plant these new manifestation seeds into. So obviously, there's a bit of groundwork that you need to do before you can dive into this whole cyclical manifestation process. But once you've dealt with the limiting beliefs, dealt with the negativity, dealt with all of these things, then this is where you can now plant these seeds, these dreams, these intentions, these goals into this beautiful, nourished soil that you've created for yourself. So it's also so important, and I want to bring this up, to go within and set goals that truly align with you. So when you write down a goal, I want you to ask yourself why. Why do I want to achieve this? And go as deep as you can, because a lot of times the goal is I want to lose weight. Why? The goal is not that you want to lose weight. I can promise you now that the goal is because you want to feel more confident, more comfortable, whatever it may be. So you really need to get down to the core reason of why you want to achieve certain things. And remember that these need to be for you. I don't want you to manifest losing weight because you want John at the gym to notice you. That has nothing to do with you. These goals must come from within. They must be aligned to your soul, to your deepest, most truest self. Sorry, just seeing comments coming through. Okay, I'm glad I can see people are watching. I just can't see any comments. So sorry guys if you're asking any questions. Okay, so like I said, go within, really try to find and connect with the desires that are truly aligned with you for yourself. Then write them down. I think a lot of us think of what we want in our heads, but we don't really write them down. And it's only once you write stuff down that your brain can actually make sense of what's going on in there. So writing it down is such an imperative stage of the manifestation process. And at the end of the workshop, I will show you exactly how to do it in the perfect way so that it makes your manifestation process more potent. And remember also at a new moon, this is a perfect time for you to start new ventures, start new projects, start a new job, maybe start a new relationship. Like I said, clean slate, starting something new. So it's really just a beautiful time for new beginnings. Okay. Then we go into waxing crescent, which is when just a little bit of the moon starts to show, starts to grow. And this is when you can really start to explore these wishes that you've set for yourself. Like I said, maybe find out if they are at the deepest core of why you want to achieve them. Why do you want to achieve them? Really feel into them. What is it that it's going to make you feel like? Because at the end of the day, with anything that we want to manifest, it is not the material thing that brings us fulfillment. It's the feeling that we get from it. So if you want to manifest a new job, the new job is not what's going to make you happy. It's the way you're going to feel by having this new job. So really explore the feelings that you are going to have when you achieve these goals that you have set for yourself. And then just remember to stay with the vision and keep the faith. It's still early days. You don't plant a seed and wake up the next day and it's a tree. It's a long process. So just having patience throughout this entire process, not just from the new moon to the waxing moon, throughout the entire process is so imperative, because like I said, seeds don't grow overnight. And if they do, you have some magical ass seeds. Okay. Then we move to the first quarter, which is when quarter of the moon is literally full. So it's actually like half of the moon if I look at the picture, but that's what it's called for first quarter. So now this is when you have written down your goals, you have a clear idea of what it is that you want, you have a clear idea of why it is that you want it, and you've maybe explored a few avenues of how you can achieve these. I think that's also where so many people go wrong. They set these big audacious goals, but they don't do anything to achieve them. Oh, I really want to have a Ferrari, and they hope that they're just going to wake up one day and walk into their driveway and there's a Ferrari parked there. I'm like, unfortunately, that is not how life works. You have to take aligned action. You have to take the steps and actually put effort into achieving these goals, these desires, these dreams. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. Okay, so if you're hoping for a cast just fell and it comes through tomorrow kind of process, sorry to disappoint, but this is life. We have to put in the work. We have to really take action, aligned action, in order for us to start gaining momentum towards achieving our goals. So at the first quarter, start taking these steps. They can be the smallest, silliest little steps, or big ones that scare the shit out of you, but you really just need to start making this momentum and taking the steps required to start getting you towards achieving this goal that you've set for yourself. Okay, so like I said, take small steps, face those fears, and like Nike says, just do it. Okay, then we move to the Gibbous Moon, which is just before we get to the full moon. So it's looking bold, it's looking juicy, but it's not quite there yet. And this is a good time to now look at the steps you've been taking and see what needs adjustment. Maybe the plan you had thought would work to start setting the plan in motion isn't really working. So this is a good time to see what needs adjustment. And remember to stay open. I'll get to this when we get to the golden rules of manifestation, but a lot of us set goals. We have this strict plan of how we're going to get there. And then when it doesn't work out like that, we either give up completely, or we're like, this manifestation thing is bullshit, or I'm never going to achieve these goals. It obviously wasn't meant for me. But because you've got your blinkers on and you're so dead set on this one way to achieve a certain goal, you miss all of the beautiful opportunities and pathways that the universe keeps sending you. It's like, here we go, you want this, here's such an easy way for you, or here's a person that can really help you on this journey to achieving this goal. But you like this, trying to like get done what you thought would get the goal like accomplished, and you miss out on all these beautiful magical ways that the universe is trying to send you in order to achieve these goals. So stay open and be willing to make changes, because like I said, nothing ever goes the way that we want it to generally. And when you release control, this is when the magic starts to happen. Like I always say, the only thing you can control in life are your actions and your reactions, nothing else. So once you come to peace with that and realize that there is nothing else in this life that you can control, especially the way you're going to manifest your goals, it actually gives you your power back, because you release, you surrender, you know the universe is going to have my back. She's going to show me the way. She's going to give me the opportunity. She's going to open the doorways, and it might not be the way that you had planned it, but you are now open to these changes, open to these signs, open to these synchronicities. And it's really going to help you towards manifesting these goals. And yeah, just trusting that the universe has your back and that everything happens in divine timing. Yes, you might want to lose 10 pounds for summer, but maybe the universe has other plans for you. Maybe it's only going to happen next winter, you know? So it might not happen when you want it to, but don't give up. If you have set the plan in motion and you're taking all the steps and you're aligning yourself with the vibrations and the mindsets and all the good things to achieve these goals and taking those actions, it is going to come about eventually. It might just not be in the time frame that you had hoped for. Okay, I just want to double check something quickly, guys, because it would seem that there might be a glitch. So let me just double check. Like this is a little tea break. Sorry, just going to see my face on Facebook here. Okay, if there is a glitch, let me know. If not, maybe it's your Wi-Fi. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. My little MacBook is taking strain here with all these apps. But at least I'm live and here with you in the group. Okay. So, oh, why did it go small again? There we go. Okay, so now we are getting to the juice, to the full moon. Okay, so this is obviously like the most famous phase of the moon. Everyone gets all excited for the full moon, and it's quite funny because the full moon is a time for release and letting go, where the new moon is time for setting intentions and planning new things. So it is beautiful within itself, but I just find the new moon's actually a lot more exciting. So when you get to the full moon in terms of your manifestation process, this is when the battery's charged full. So this is when you should be reaching the peak of your manifestation. You should be realizing what's working, what's not, what goals may not be actually meant for you, what new goals might have popped up on the process of you trying to achieve another goal. So it's the peak of realizing what is working, what is not, what you want, what you don't. And remember, you may feel emotional because you're either going to be fucking happy that everything is aligning and your manifestation is falling into place, or you're going to be really sad because things just aren't working out the way that you planned. Or because we are made of 70% water and the moon affects the tides, it could just be the full moon that's making us go a little bit loony. That's why they call it loony, right? It's the lunar phases. So like I said, this is the peak phase. And it's so important at this phase, and I think in any phase actually, to practice gratitude. I think gratitude is the most beautiful daily practice that you can bring into your life because it aligns you with such a high vibration. And like I said, you manifest what you are. And if you are eternally and always grateful for everything that you have in your life, the universe is going to send you more things to be grateful for. So practice gratitude, even if shit is not going the way that you planned, even if these manifestations, these goals that you've set for yourself seem like they are never going to come to fruition, practice gratitude. Maybe you have been thrown a curveball and it wasn't really great and it's been quite a hard lesson for you to learn. Be grateful for that because you've learned, you have grown, you've expanded your knowledge, you are more wise. And the next time you try to achieve the same thing, you are going to go in with this knowledge of what not to do because I fucked it up the last time. Okay. I'm seeing comments now. This is so exciting. Hello, Andy. Hello, Scarla. Sorry if you were being here the whole time. I'm only seeing you guys now. But yeah, Tanya says loony, lunar. Haha, makes sense. That's exactly why they call it loony. I think if you Google that, that's exactly why they call it loony. Okay. So practicing gratitude and then also recognizing what you need to release to make space for more. That's why the Ho'oponopono ceremony is like the most favored ceremony or ritual to do on the full moon. It's basically a forgiveness ritual where you write down everything you want to forgive yourself for or other people for, and you burn that shit up and you let it go and you release it and you make space for more in your life. Now, make space is one of the golden rules of manifestation, and it's so important because whether it's physical space or energetic space, you cannot fill a cup more than it can be filled. So think about that as your life, right? Obviously, your cup can get bigger because obviously we're manifesting more fulfillment, more abundance, more money, more happiness, more whatever it may be. And we by practicing and getting better at this process, we actually can make our small little cup where we're happy with this amount of money in our bank account. We can grow the cup to however big we want. So it's not to say that this is your limit of where you can fill your cup to, but in order to make space, sometimes you need to release the things that are no longer serving you. So limiting beliefs, these are all like energetic vibes, limiting beliefs, fears, your ego. Toxic people can also really drain you and hold you back from manifesting your deepest desires. And also physical space. So I don't know if you saw my Instagram stories the other day, but I cleaned up my entire office, let go of the one company that I have been involved in for 4 years and cleaned everything out. But not only that, deleted the emails off my laptop, cleaned out all the files, just making space so that my new business, this business, can fill that space and be more abundant. I think there's a little fly around me. So making space is such a huge one. And this is something you can really do on the full moon as well, is to start making space physically or energetically. I also did a thing where I cleaned out my wallet. If you want to bring more money into your life, clean out your purse. If it's filled with slips and business cards and like stickers that you're collecting from the discount promotion or whatever it may be, you're not making space energetically to bring more money into your life. So like simple little things like these can really help to make space in your mind, in your life, in your energetic space. Okay. So I was gonna say, can you hear the ice cream van? Summer's coming. Okay, then we move on to the disseminating mood. And hi, Nadine. I don't think I said hello. Hello, my love. And Michelle and Nadia and Mandy. I think for some reason now everything's coming through. Bless, hallelujah. Okay, so now we move on to the disseminating moon. So this is the phase where you got to the full battery and your battery starts to die out. So think about when your battery starts to die, what do you need to do? Time to take a break, right? You don't want to burn yourself out. So disseminating moon, relax, take a breath, and just accept what is, what's worked, what hasn't, what's come into your life, what's gone out of your life. Just accept it. Like I said, the only thing you control are your actions and your reactions. So there is no point getting upset or flustered or stressed or anxious about the things that you cannot control. It's a superpower. Practice makes perfect. Okay, so, and then start to reflect what worked, what didn't. So accepting and reflecting work so well together, because you can accept what is and then start to reflect on, okay, cool, I wanted to achieve this goal. This process that I followed didn't work. Why didn't it work? Because of this, this, and that. Cool. So those are obviously not viable ways for me to achieve this goal. Let me think of new viable ways that I can maybe achieve this goal. Okay. And then this is also a really good time. And because remember, I said the waning moon is like the more shadowy, darker side of the cycle, is to start seeing what shadows or issues have come to light. Maybe it's not working out because you have a limiting belief around money and you want to manifest more money into your life. Maybe you don't believe that you're worthy of money. Maybe you believe that money is the root of all evil. These are beliefs that are going to hold you back in manifesting your desires, because if you do not believe that you can achieve these things, then you are blocking that from yourself. So really, this might feel like the mucky, ugly part of manifestation, but it's not everything, especially manifestation and spiritual growth, expansion, all those things. Not all of it is sunshine and rainbows. So really start to be honest with yourself and start to ask yourself, maybe there's something that I need to work on deep within myself. Maybe there are beliefs that I have that are not contributing to me bringing this abundance into my life. What are these? How can I overcome them? How can I break them down and make myself realize that they aren't true? Because beliefs are just that. They are something that you believe. It's not necessarily true. So just remember that when it comes to limiting beliefs, beliefs aren't always true. And you can break them. And you can reframe them and you can make better ones. Okay. Okay, loving your comments, guys. I'm so excited. I don't feel like I'm talking to myself now. Okay, then the third quarter. So again, reevaluate. Now that you've recognized, reflected, figured out what issues you may have, what mindset blocks you may have, whatever it is, it's time to reevaluate and also look at the goal. Maybe it's not working out the way you planned. Maybe it's not actually what you really wanted in the first place. So it's really, this is a really good time to start reevaluating not only the goals that you set for yourself, but the plans and the action steps that you might have thought would have got you there. Maybe it's time for a change of course, or you're at a crossroads and you need to now be like, okay, well, I want this. I've got two options. Which one do I think is going to be best? Which one feels most aligned to what aligns to my soul, to my true deep inner self? And listening to your intuition is so important here, because a lot of us confuse our intuition and our fear and our ego. Our ego works off fear, where our intuition just works off the woo-woo, our inner wisdom, our inner knowledge, and what's best for us. So you might be making a decision thinking you're using intuition, but you might actually just be making that decision because you're too scared to think about or take that step. So really be honest with yourself and think, am I making this decision because I'm really just shit scared and I don't really want to have to do that? Or am I making this decision because it just doesn't feel right to me? There's a huge difference between leading with intuition and leading with ego. Okay, and then again, leaving all that no longer works or is aligned to you or your goals. So these are habits, goals, plans, whatever it may be. Then we get to the last stage before we go back to the new moon, and that is the Balsamic Moon. I think it's so funny that they call it this, just makes me think of balsamic vinegar. But this is the phase just before your battery dies, right? So obviously it's important for you to relax, rest, let go, but it's also time for you to start allowing that inspiration to start trickling in, because you're about to plug yourself back in and get that boost of energy, that boost of motivation for the next moon cycle. So start allowing yourself to feel inspired again. Do the things that make you feel inspired. And inspiration always comes when you're being creative, and creative doesn't mean going and painting a painting. It is whatever speaks to your soul. If you like dancing like a mad thing to your favorite Spice Girls song, then do that. If you like taking walks in nature by yourself in the dead silence of nature, do that. If you like writing poems, do that. If you like gardening, do that. But you'll find when you're being creative, it stops you from thinking about all your stresses, your worries, your anxieties, all the shit things in life. And you're just fully present in the moment of what you're doing. And that's when you can really connect to yourself and channel new ideas, new inspirations, new goals, new dreams, new desires. Okay. And then you can also use the time to, now that you've reflected and you've reevaluated and you've maybe crossroads or completely like decided this is not for me, start to think about adjusting these previous goals that you've set for yourself. How can you adjust them? How can you make them more relevant to you? How can you make them more achievable? How can you make them more aligned to what you want to be, the person that you want to be? Because at the end of the day, all of your manifestation goals should be aligned to the person you want to be, your highest self. Anything else is purely materialistic and based on external things. Want a fancy new car? Cool, if that's really what you want, that's going to make you feel happy, that's going to make you feel fulfilled, get a new car. But if you want a new car and a specific car because your friends are going to think you're cool and everyone at work's going to like want to aspire to be you, and everyone that you drive past is going to feel jealous of you, then those are not good reasons to want to have a new car. Make sure that they are genuine, aligned to your true self and to making the future you your highest you, if that makes sense. Okay, and then remember, rest and heal. Just before your battery dies, before you get plugged in, and we're not phones, so we don't have a plug-in source, we have to rest, sleep, relax in order for our human battery to charge. So resting and healing is such an important part of the cycle. Give yourself a break, whether it's half an hour or a full 2 days, whatever you can and have available to you, just give yourself a break. Do something that relaxes you, that resets you, that rejuvenates you. Bubble baths. Maybe book yourself one night away at a spa. Maybe journal. Maybe go have dinner with friends. You know, whatever works for you, takes your mind off things, helps you to reset, recharge, rejuvenate. Okay, and then again, practicing gratitude, because gratitude is the attitude that will get you everything you need. Okay, just want to read your comments quick before I move on to the new slide. Okay. Okay, so Asma says, being a human means having negative thoughts and low energy during manifestation too. Can a single negative thought cancel your manifestation? So yes, being human, we do have negative thoughts, but you have to remember that that's all conditioning. At our natural state, before we were influenced by patriarchy and technology and rules and greed and power and all these things, humans just were led by love. All right. So we treated everyone as equals. We treated everyone with love. There was no hate. There was no separation. Don't know when this was. It sounds like a fucking beautiful time to have been alive. But as like humans, without being conditioned by everything external, we operate from love. So when you're operating from love, it's very hard to have a negative thought, because you love yourself, you love everyone, you love everything, and everything's happy, go dandy, right? So yes, as humans, it's normal for us to have negative thoughts, but this is where it becomes so important to be self-aware, recognizing these negative thought patterns, seeing where they come from, reframing them into positive, and then kicking them the fuck out of your head. Because like I said, negative thoughts are just going to bring your vibration down. And being in a low vibe means you're not going to be able to attract anything in a higher vibration. So if you are feeling stuck in a negative thought of fear, you're only going to attract things that bring more fear. Okay, I hope that helps, Asma. And thanks, Nadine, love that. Negative thoughts don't hold power, they hold illusion. Okay, love that. Okay, let's move on. So, hello. Okay, now we're going to dive into the zodiac signs. And I mean, you don't have to use this. I just think it's a really cool way to base your monthly manifestations on. So like I said in the beginning of this workshop, this is the new moon in Libra. So if we go and look for Libra, Libra is all about relationships. Here it is, bottom left. Libra is all about relationships. So set your manifestations around this theme during the Libra new moon. So if you look at all of them, they all have different types of categories into different aspects of your lives. So if there are 12 to 13 new moons every year, that's 13 cycles of manifestation that we can go through. So how cool is it to be able to sync your manifestation with the zodiac sign that the new moon falls into? Because then you're covering all your bases within a year period of your manifestation cycles, right? Now this goes so deep, and I would have loved to put this in the workshop as well. When you get your actual zodiac chart and you see which zodiacs are in your certain houses, because each house also pertains to a specific area in your life, and you can use that to manifest with as well. But we don't have 7 hours. So I thought I'd just touch on the zodiac signs, right? Okay, so this has nothing to do with your star sign or your sun sign, right? I'm Capricorn. It doesn't mean I can only manifest on the Capricorn new moon. It means, well, it doesn't mean anything. I can literally sync my manifestation each month to the relative moon that is in. So I know a few moons ago it was the full moon in Aquarius, but Every new moon generally falls under a different zodiac sign throughout the year. So we can go through them quickly. Let's see. Aries has that so Aries is the first zodiac in the zodiac signs, which is like the baby. It's also similar to the new moon, where it's like the beginning, clean slate, setting goals. So Aries has that never give up attitude. The sun is full of energy and determination. So this is a good time to plan for the year ahead. So cool. When we have our next, and remember, we don't have to run our lives from 1 January to 31 December. That's why I hate New Year's resolutions. Like, why wait for the 1st of January to do something that's going to change your life? Just do it now. Do it tomorrow. I hate that start on Monday, start next week, start on the new year. Like, there's no time like now. So I don't know when the new moon in Aries will be, but this is a perfect time to plan for the full zodiac year ahead. Then Taurus won't settle for less. Focus on your finances and work on your self-worth and your value. So this is all about value. So setting goals around your finances, income, and also self-worth. We all need to work on our self-worth. I don't care who you are. There is always that little inner critic of ours that keeps telling us that we don't deserve something or we're not as good enough for something. So there's always work to be done there. So Taurus is a good time to do that. Gemini is all about communication. Set goals around socializing and spending time with loved ones. So if you have friends that you want to spend more time with, or you want to maybe make new friends, this is a good time to set goals around that type of manifestation. Cancers are highly emotional. So this is a good time to see how you can nurture yourself, especially if you're an empath. It's also a good time to release your fears and review your goals. So it's really just like tapping into those emotions, seeing what work needs to be done. And remember, trauma is trapped emotions. So if you have been through trauma recently, or if you've been through trauma in your life and you have not been able to work through or get past it, it's because you have not worked through the emotions. So feeling emotions is so important for us to be able to release them and heal. So this is a perfect time for you to do that kind of work, right? Okay, Leo is my fave. Not really. All my exes are Leos. Leos love to bask in the spotlight and celebrate themselves. So this is a really good time for you to just celebrate yourself. You don't necessarily have to set specific manifestation goals, but really just celebrating yourself, your small wins, your little achievements, how far you've come, the progresses you've made, the friends you've made, the whatever it may be, just celebrating yourself. We never celebrate ourselves as humans. We should celebrate every single little achievement that we make. So whatever way you want to celebrate yourself, whether it's buying yourself a gift, or like baking yourself a cake, or just planning a spa day, or lying out in the sun and just having a time with you, listening to your favorite music, mixing your favorite cocktails, really just find that way that celebrates you uniquely. Okay, then Virgo is a perfectionist at heart. So see what changes you need to make in your life. This is also a good time to see what habits are not working, what new habits you can maybe put into your life, what routines you can start to put into your life. Routines literally will change your life. And I know it sounds so silly, but if you find a routine that works for you, it can honestly change your life. And I always say, you do you, boo, which sounds so silly and so cliche, but you do you, boo, whatever works. You don't have to journal. You don't have to meditate. You don't have to do yoga. You don't have to do all the things that you see everyone else doing on Instagram, but just do the things that work for you. Okay, Libra is all about relationships. So setting your manifestations around this theme during the Libra new moon. So this can be relationships with people, but also a relationship that you have with yourself. And it might not necessarily be fixing relationships that you have, but maybe looking at the relationships that you need to let go of. Okay, then Scorpio invites you to do some psychological healing and explore your motives, past hurts, and unresolved issues. So this is similar to the Cancer one, but this is obviously like digging a little bit deeper and really just finding those things that need to be healed. Okay, Sagittarians are always on a quest for knowledge. So how can you focus on self-improvement? This is a perfect time to set manifestations around self-improvement. So whether you want to take a short course, learn a new skill, read a new book, find a podcast to learn more from, just really increasing your knowledge, increasing your skill set. This is the perfect time to set those kind of manifestations. Then, sorry, my friend just says I've reached my time limit, but I need to see your comments. Then Capricorn will ensure you're in planning mode. So now is the time for vision boards and brainstorming your best life. I love vision boards. But if you don't want to necessarily, and I don't even print them out and make them, I have a vision board on Pinterest. So just really making your goals and dreams visualized, visible, really can help your subconscious mind to really let that sink in and start work towards achieving these goals that you have for yourself. Okay, Aquarians are super adventurous at heart. It's time to start planning your next dream trip. Remember to keep an element of free-spiritedness to your plan. So like I said, you can't control anything. So yes, plan your trip, make it bold, make it big, make it dreamy, make it exciting, but realize that it might not work the way that you want to. So have leniency in the plans that you make for this holiday. I'm actually busy manifesting a holiday right now. Well, I'm not even manifesting. I know it's going to happen, but I'm still manifesting. Okay, and then the last one, Pisces, and this is the end of the zodiac calendar. So, or the zodiac cycles. So this is similar to the Balsamic Moon, where you can just rest, maybe reflect, see what worked, what maybe you didn't focus on that needs focusing on, and start to plan out or think about what you want to achieve in the next zodiac cycle. Okay, so here I've just delved a little bit deeper into the zodiacs. Okay, so like Aries, I said, it's the time, the clean slate, the energized time. So take action, make a 12-month plan, be courageous, have some fun, focus on you. If any of these resonate, write them down. I'm not going to take too much time because I'm already an hour in and there's still so much more to go through. So Taurus is making a financial plan, loving yourself, be sensual. That's such an important thing that we all don't, most of us have just stepped away from, is our sexuality and our sensuality. So embrace it, explore it, connect with it, stop being embarrassed about it. Character check, releasing toxic traits, and persevere. Then Gemini, communication, like I said, meditating is a cool way to communicate with yourself and with your inner wisdom and with the divine. Socializing also obviously really helps with communication skills, seeing your siblings, and reading more, because reading can really increase your knowledge and your vocab, which improves your communication, right? Okay. Oh, Shannon says my vision board is my cell phone wallpaper. So I'll actually take a screenshot and put on the group later, but my vision board is on my laptop. I can actually show you at the end of the workshop, but it's crazy because every single thing that I put in there in January has come true. So it works, guys. Okay, Cancer is the emotional one. Think about Cancer is the crab. It's hard on the outside, but soft and mushy on the inside, right? So family time is important. Banishing your insecurities, because those will just shoot your emotions out of whack. Nurture yourself, nurture relationships, nurture with your family, review your goals. And bathing is such a cool thing that you can do during the Cancer new moon if you're looking for a ritual or ceremony to do, because it recreates the conditions of the womb. And that's obviously where we grew up in the first 9 months. And your womb is, I mean, water is tied to your emotions as well. It's all the sacral chakra energy. So bathing is just such a beautiful way to recreate that safe environment that we had within the womb. And also it's symbolic of washing yourself of things that no longer serve you. And when you let the water out, everything goes down the drain. Okay, then Leo, show off time, flirts, be creative, love yourself, spoil yourself, or even someone you love. Virgo, time to take an inventory of your life, what's working, what's not, and make changes. Being of service, and I mean, this is, I was thinking about it today, you have not found your purpose in life until you are of service to other people. Now, that may trigger some people, but it's just the truth. You will never feel more fulfilled than when you are helping other people. And when you find your special source, your special potion, your special way that you can help people, that is when you have found your purpose and when you will be the most fulfilled you can ever feel. Be healthy. And not only in like diet and body, but mindset as well, and soul set, meditate, do the things that connect you, bring you back into yourself. Avoid nitpicking. I think that's just in general, guys, as a life tip, stop nitpicking. And then getting organized. Then we move on to Libra, which is just really relating with people, with things, with situations, with circumstances. How well do you get on with people in your life? Partnering up, working on your relationships, negotiate, looking gorgeous, and regaining your identity. Then Scorpio, get sexy, sorry, invest wisely, make inner peace, breathe, and drop grudges. I mean, these are all just basically really good life tips as well. Then Sagittarius is get away, just creating a sense of freedom from whether it is your life that you need to get away from, which means you probably need to reevaluate your life, or just getting away to rest and relax, a little holiday, a little weekend away. Study brings more freedom, because obviously increasing your skill set, increasing your knowledge. Search for meaning, finding your purpose, laugh, have fun, take risks. Remember to put fun in everything, guys. I forgot to say this in the beginning, but I say this in everything that I do. If you're not having fun, and obviously like when it comes to facing your shadows and your inner child and your fears and your ego, it's not really going to be fun. But with everything else, try bring an element of fun into that. Okay, and then being grateful. The secret recipe to everything. Okay, Capricorn, plan. Capricorn is like the success, the hard worker. Be ambitious, be kind, seed control, establish traditions. Then Aquarius, time to detach, let go of attachment. The hardest thing you will ever learn. Be true, be authentically you, be inventive, find new ideas, new solutions, be charitable. That again goes to serving others, helping others. Connect, be sociable, check in with your tribe. And then lastly, Pisces, which is dreams. Think about your thoughts and dreams. And also pay attention to your dreams, because sometimes those are the best messengers. Face your fears, no more secrets or lies, especially with yourself. Get cosmic, working on your intuition. It's honestly a superpower. And once you tap into intuition, you trust your intuition and you follow your intuition, life becomes so much more easy, because you get out of your head and get into your head. Get out of your head and get into your heart and your womb space, which is where your intuition is, and your third eye. Your intuition is so strong and it will never lead you astray. And then time to heal. If you need, seek out a healer and surrender, which you're going to get to. Okay, so now we move on to the golden rules of manifestation. So I put numbers in your workbook. If you want, you can fill them in, but also disclaimer, I put 7 numbers and then I added 1 in today. So there's actually 8, so don't be confused. Just checking your comments before we dive in. Okay, so the number 1 rule is to wish for anything you want. Nothing is impossible. The only limits we have in life are the ones that we set for ourselves. So like I said, and this is going back to conditioning, we are conditioned to think small, to think that we cannot achieve it all, to think that we cannot do things that will lead us to achieving these big, audacious, scary, crazy dreams that we have for ourselves. But the truth of the matter is that you fucking can. You can literally achieve anything that your heart desires. You just have to believe that you can. Set out the steps in order to achieve. Do them. And also surrender and let the universe take control. But this is the whole process we're going to go through now. Okay, so number 1 rule, don't be scared to set big, hairy, audacious goals, because you can honestly achieve anything you put your mind to. If you are not putting down that big goal that you want, you're selling yourself short. Okay, number 2, make space. I touched on this before. Making space in your home, in your life, in your things, and in your space energetically. So, like I said with the money, cleaning out your wallet. If you want to manifest a partner into your life or love, look at your bedroom. Are you making space for a partner? Maybe you have teddies all over your bed, or maybe there's just absolutely no like hint of romance in your bed. Maybe you've got pictures of all of your girlfriends all over the room. Like, that's not really feng shui for manifesting and attracting love into your life. So really look at the spaces in which you will be taking the actions to achieve the goals you've set for yourself, and clean them out. It's really just physically rewarding, but also energetically rewarding. You'll feel so much more motivated and not distracted when your space around you is clear. For me, in the mornings when I want to have a productive day, the first thing I do is get up, make the bed, wash the dishes, clean the lounge, put all the plates in the sink that are lying all around the house, wash the dishes again. Really make sure that my house is clean, because I spend all day at my house. And if I walk around into a room and it's messy, I'm like, oh, it's messy, I need to clean it. It's like distracting me from getting what I actually need to get done. So making space is such a good one and an important one. Okay. Number 3 is to wish for a feeling. And I touched on this earlier before, but material possessions do not equal lasting happiness. And think about it. How many times have you hoped and dreamed for a new cell phone, a new wardrobe, a new handbag, a new car? When you get it, you're like, yippee, I'm so excited. And literally like 10, 15 minutes, maybe a day later or a week later, depending on how big this material possession was that you got yourself is, you're already thinking about what the next thing is that you want. So it does not create lasting happiness. I can promise you now, there's never been a person in history that has got a material possession and never had to like, or never wanted to achieve or get anything else in their life ever again. So really wish for the feelings that you're going to get when you achieve these goals that you set for yourself, because that is what you essentially are trying to manifest. Okay. Then step number 4 is to take baby steps towards these goals. Baby steps add up. And everyone's talking this big like buzzword right now is quantum leaping, which means like leaping from here to there. And I can tell you now, no one quantum leaps overnight. The quantum leap is made up of all those baby little steps that got you there. So taking baby steps is so important. And I'm sure you've seen those memes. I saw one the other day that was so good. It was like 2 ladders, one with lots of many little like closely spaced things to climb up the ladder, and then there was one with like huge spaces between, and the one with the little gaps, the little guy was at the top of the ladder already, and the one with the huge gaps, the guy was still standing at the bottom like trying to reach the first step. So baby steps, even though they seem like they might not be important or not be contributing to getting you towards this goal, those are the ones that count the most. All right, so taking baby steps is so important. Then number 5 is completely believing that you are worthy of your wishes. Okay, you are not going to achieve things if you keep telling yourself you don't deserve them or you are not worthy of them. You are repelling everything that the universe wants to send you away, because you're basically telling the universe, oh, I really want to get a new job that pays me this amount of money and is closer to home, but I don't really deserve it. And the universe is like coming, it's like listening, and then it's like, oh, never mind. Okay, well then I'll go give someone else what they want, what they believe that they deserve. So working on your self-worth and working on your limiting beliefs and working on your negative thoughts that you have about yourself day in and day out is so imperative for you to manifest everything that you desire, because the law of attraction states what you focus on grows. So if you are focusing on the lack, if you are focusing on the negative self-worth, if you're focusing on the fears, you are going to attract more of that, not the actual goal that you've set for yourself. Okay. Then number 6 is to remember the law of intention, and that is that the future is created in the present. Now I dedicated a whole slide to this because the law of intention is so incredible. So I'm sure you've heard the saying, energy flows where attention goes, and this is so true. So like I said about our thoughts create the soil in which we can plant our seeds. Our dreams are those seeds, by the way, if you haven't been following or if you've just hopped on now. So really think about your thoughts as the soil that you are laying for the seeds of your wishes to grow and nurture them. So the thoughts we have today are what is essentially growing into the soil that we are hoping to plant our seeds in for our manifestations tomorrow. So it is so important to make sure that you are present and are always, as much as you can, staying in the positive mindset of things. Okay, future goals, present mindset. So as long as your attention is in the present, then your intent for the future will manifest, because the future is created in the present. So think about it like this. If you're constantly thinking about the manifestation that you set for yourself, which hasn't yet happened, so you're thinking about the fact that it hasn't yet happened, you're wondering why you haven't achieved it yet. Thinking about things in the future is just going to keep you in that state of lack, that mindset of lack. So to counteract, we stay present. We keep thinking about how good it's going to feel when we achieve that goal, the steps we need to take to achieve that goal. And in staying present, you keep yourself on track, you keep yourself aligned, and you keep yourself nurturing the soil for tomorrow's harvest. Okay, and then release it and trust it will be. I'm going to talk about release and surrender because it's such a difficult thing to wrap our heads around, but it's like the most important recipe to this whole manifestation process. But just knowing that when things don't go your way, there is a reason. If you think back on your life, on situations that happened that seemed like the worst possible outcome at the time, but actually landed up being the best possible thing because it steered you in a new direction, or it closed a chapter of your life, or it brought about a new opportunity that you wouldn't have been able to take advantage of if you're still stuck in that old situation. It happens so often. So remember that there's a reason for everything, and that the universe has plans that are bigger than your wildest dreams. So also, don't get disheartened if you don't achieve the goal you set for yourself, because there might actually be something way more fucking fabulous happening in the foreseeable future for you. Okay, next. I can't speak. Sometimes the next button works, sometimes I have to click. Okay, number 7, meditate. So meditation is just a beautiful way to firstly calm you, bring you into the present moment, and help you to focus on what is happening in this little monkey mind of ours. So yes, you've probably heard a million times, the point of meditation is to not think at all. I call bullshit. I actually channel the most divine messages and ideas when I'm in meditation. And that's not, and that means I'm not thinking, right? But I think the point is to not think about frivolous things, and the thoughts will come, acknowledge them, say thank you, but I'm not interested in you right now. You may pass by. I saw such a good analogy of meditation as like you sitting on the side of a highway. So all these cars are coming past and you see them, but you let them go past. You're not going to get up and run after that one car and like try to jump in. The whole point of meditation is to just know that there's thoughts happening, but not attaching onto them and like letting yourself go on a tangent. It's just letting them go by. And if something happens and this amazing idea comes into your mind, remember it, because that's obviously you channeling something, but then try again to just focus on letting it go by. And this just helps us to improve and clear the signals of our wishes. And then the last point, the most important point, release and surrender. Let the universe guide the way. I've got a slide next that I'll explain more, but like I said, the only things you can control are your actions and your reactions. So if you are not willing to let go of how you think you are going to achieve a goal, you're probably not going to achieve it, or it's going to be really, really hard to get there because you're not seeing the universe signs being like, no, 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 that's girl, listen to me. That is not the easiest way. You are going about this all wrong. Just relax, release, just trust me. I've got you. I'm going to throw opportunities your way. I'm going to throw pathways and doorways that are going to open. Just relax. Just trust me. I got you. Okay. Sorry, guys. I know this is going longer than planned, but like I said, there's lots of juice info. If you have to hop on, I'm leaving this up till the end of the week, so you can always catch up. But thank you for joining. Okay, and then there's only 2 don'ts for manifestation. Don't make wishes for other people. You cannot control their lives. People have free will. You can manifest as much as you want that Johnny stops drinking, but until Johnny decides to stop drinking by himself, it's not going to happen. So don't waste your time wasting a manifestation energy on someone else. Then, like I said, oh, sorry, that was the second one. Don't wish for other people to change. It's the same concept. Obviously, now, if you are wishing for Sally to get her dream job, it's also wasted. Sally needs to manifest and take those aligned actions to get her own dream job. So don't wish for other people, whether it's wishing for people to change or wishing for other people to get certain things. Just don't waste your time. They need to take their control and take their journey, their path to getting the things that maybe they truly desire. And maybe you want Sally to get that job. Maybe Sally doesn't want that job. Maybe secretly deep down inside, she's hoping she doesn't get it, so the universe sends on another path. Alrighty. Okay, so this is all about surrender, just letting the universe take the wheel. So the definition of surrender is to hand your manifestation goals over to the universe, right? So that doesn't mean that you give up on something. It doesn't mean, cool, I've put it out there, like I said with the Ferrari, I've put it out there, I want to like get a new car and I'm just going to hopefully wake up one day and it's in my garage. That is not what surrender means, okay? Just means releasing your need to control when and how it happens, and that you're handing it over to the universe to take care of you. So the universe may have a better idea than what you have in mind, because like I said, sometimes we dream small because we don't believe that we can achieve or we are worthy of achieving certain things. So the universe might be like, girl, I'm going to send something that's going to blow your fucking mind. So just surrender and strap your nuts back. So release control and allow what is meant for you to come in whatever way that it does. So what I like to do with manifestations when you set goals for yourself is to always say, whatever you want to manifest, this or something better. Because then the universe already knows you are ready and willing for this or something better. Okay, then the less attachment you have to something, the more you'll be in flow. So think about it, think about like a muscle attached to a rock. He's got no flow. He ain't going nowhere, okay? So by releasing, you allow yourself to go with the flow and you will get to where you need to go by the guidance of the universe. Okay. So I wanted to just quickly, and I'm going to make this quite a quick one because I did not realize how long this workshop was going to be, but I want to take you through a meditation. So just make sure that you are in a place where you will not be distracted, most importantly. So if you're in the house where there are people, maybe close the door and ask them not to come in. You can dim the lights, light your candle, light your incense if you have that stuff around you. Use your essential oils. I got my little manifesting goddess oil. I don't know if you can see. And most importantly, make sure that you're comfortable, right? Because the last thing you want to be doing in a meditation session is like, oh, my butt's going numb. Oh, my back's getting sore. Just make sure you're comfortable, because those are also other forms of distractions. Okay, and then when you're ready, you can just close your eyes. We're going to dive into a beautiful little meditation. So close your eyes and just bring your awareness to your whole body. Really just feel into your body. Feel if there's any tightness, any pain, any sensations. And then start to just think of your body as a statue. Solid, rooted, grounded, strong, unfuckwithable. Okay. And this is not to say that you can't move during the meditation. If you want to move, move. You do you boo. Okay. Then we're going to move our awareness to our breath. So before we do any controlled breathing techniques, just noticing the natural flow of your breath. As you inhale, just noticing your inhales. As you exhale, just noticing your exhales. Notice how your breath is like the waves of the ocean, lapping up against the shores and then retreating back. Then we're going to now move into a little breathing technique. So I'm just going to do box breath. That's 4 seconds inhale, hold your breath for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 and hold for 4. If you do have high blood pressure, then don't do the holding. But if not, then we'll go now. So inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 3, 2, 1, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Now you can continue a few more rounds of this in your own time. I feel like a personal trainer when I'm counting reps. Yeah. And if you want, you can actually just also return to your natural breath. Just making sure when you inhale fully, filling up your chest, filling up your diaphragm, filling up your tummy, and then exhaling fully, starting from your tummy, emptying it out, moving up until eventually you empty out your chest. Breathwork is so, so powerful. It helps us to calm our nervous system, to just bring us back into our bodies and into this present moment. Just carrying on with that breath work. And when you're feeling centered, calm, grounded, connected, start to think about what it is that you would like to manifest in this new moon cycle. If you want to stick with the zodiac, then maybe focusing on relationships is something that you can think about manifesting, but it can honestly be whatever is really tugging at your heartstrings right now. What is that big goal that's been niggling you in the back of your mind? Maybe you are too scared to acknowledge, or you don't think it's possible, you don't think it's worthy. Or it could be something really small. It doesn't have to be a big, scary, fear-facing goal. It could just be something small that you've been wanting to achieve for a while. Really just think about what it is that you would like to manifest in the next moon cycle. And if nothing comes to you now, don't worry, we're going to jump into the manifestation process where I'll give you some tips and guidelines, but just really try to connect with your soul and see what your soul wants. And you can ask your soul, what is it that I truly desire? If any of you watch Lucifer, I'm sure you can picture him doing the same thing right now. What is it that you truly desire? Okay. Bringing your awareness back to your breath, just taking a few more deep, deep, deep inhales, full exhales. Bringing your awareness back to your body, feeling the sensations of where your body connects with the earth, whether you're sitting, standing, lying down. The clothes that rub against your skin, the temperature, and then bringing your awareness back to the room that's around you, any noises, any light that may be filtering through your closed eyelids. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay. So I think with any manifestation ritual that you do, it's so important to do some form of meditation. I'd be interested to see how you guys feel. But I found with meditation, it really just brings you into the present moment. It calms you down. It helps you to focus. Going in with an intention is so important so that you come out with an answer or something that is aligned with that intention that you went into. And it really just sets you up in the perfect vibration for beginning this manifestation process. Okay. So let's start in. Okay, so if you have your workbook, like I said, you can fill it in. If not, pen, paper is perfect. So now that we are in the zone of manifestation from that meditation, the next step is to start to write 5 to 10 things that you are grateful for. It doesn't have to be people, it can be things, it can be memories, it can be moments, it can be something as small as the guy on the side of the road that was handing out pamphlets, like told you a funny joke and made you laugh. Like that is something to be grateful for. So just think about over the past week, past month, even the past year, 5 to 10 things that you are grateful for. I'm going to give you I'll give you a minute to jot things down. Like I said, you can go back and do this by yourself if we don't go too late tonight, because it's already like hella dark out there, but I'm guessing none of you go to bed as early as me, so there's still time for a little new moon ritual. Oh, Nadine, thanks, man. It's so important to connect with yourself through meditation, I think. And like I said, you don't have to do it the ways that are conventionally spoken about. You can meditate by walking through nature. You can meditate by listening to music that speaks to your soul. You don't have to sit there for hours on end not thinking about anything. Okay, moving on. You can always go back, like I said. So now I want you to decide on your top 10 wishes that you have for yourself. And this can be from this month forward to next year, September, because we're pretty much the beginning of October. And I've put in there the wheel of life because I think it's so important. And that's why I touched on the zodiacs as well, to make sure that you set wishes and manifestations and goals in all areas of your life. So this wheel of life covers things like career, money, your health. And don't put that on the back burner. Your health should be like your number one priority. Friends and family, personal development, leisure and pastimes, or leisure and play, other relationships, whether that is work relationships or relationships with your boyfriends or husbands' friends, or in your book club, whatever it may be. If it doesn't fall into friends and family, this is other relationships that you can work on. And then your physical environment. So this is just your home, the country that you live in, the space that you live in. So, I mean, you can either just jot down little keywords that you can think about in this wheel that relate to all of those categories. And just really write down anything that comes into your mind. And this is why writing down is so important, because we think we know what's going on in our head, but we honestly have no idea. How is our brain supposed to write down and organize all of the thoughts that we have, all the ideas that we have, all the goals that we have? And you'll see, especially like I find this when I do the Ho'oponopono ceremony, that word vomit comes out on my paper of things that I have to forgive myself for and I have to forgive people for, that I wasn't really even aware of. Just once you get in the flow and you start to write things down, like, oh, and this, oh, and this, oh, and this. So writing it down is really such an important part of manifestation, because it really just clarifies and gives you like a good idea of what it is that you really want. All right, let's move on to the next one. So I'm gonna like go a little bit faster than planned through this one, just so that I don't keep you for 6,000 hours. Okay, then I'll just put this in here. Remember, the key to manifesting exactly what you want, or better, is to know exactly what you want. So be specific. And there was a whole thing of this in the workbook that I sent you, but it's so important to be specific. Think about it. If your goal is I want to lose weight, if by the end of the year you have lost 1 gram, you have achieved your goal. Okay, so it is so important to be specific, because you might not think you're achieving these goals, but you are. You just weren't specific enough. So if you want to lose weight or make more money or find a new job, be specific about what exactly it is, the amounts, the descriptions, everything that goes into making these goals specific. That's why that whole SMART goals thing, the first thing is the S of SMART, is to be specific, because we tend to like set these open-ended, non-measurable goals and then wonder why we aren't achieving anything, but we didn't really set like an outcome that we wanted. Okay. Then once you have brainstormed all of these things, you can now write down your top 10 wishes out of everything that you listed there. So take your time, write them out, but just prioritize your top 10 wishes that you want to maybe manifest over the next year period. Then the best thing to do with this is to create affirmations that back up these wishes. So if you want to earn $10,000 a month, if that's one of your goals, write as an affirmation, I am so blessed and grateful and happy that I am bringing 10,000 Rand in every single month. Once you have all of these affirmations, say them every single day. And if you do the thing where you just got lighter. Oh, have you switched on the lights outside? I was like, what is happening? If you do the things where you sync your manifestation theme with the zodiacs, then repeat the affirmation that is aligned with that month's theme for every day of the month. Like I said in the beginning, affirmations are so powerful. They really, really have some magical essence to them. So creating these affirmations and repeating them every day is not only going to remind you of what you want to achieve, but it's going to instill the belief in yourself that you can achieve it and that it's going to be achieved and that it has already happened. Your brain is actually so fascinating. That's why athletes who are like performing in the Olympics always visualize whatever it is, like let's say a diver, they visualize they dive before they actually do the dive, and it makes them achieve that dive much better because their brain has been already tricked into thinking that it's happened. So there's so much science behind this as well. It's not all woo-woo, it's true woo. I heard that the other day. So creating these affirmations can really help you to achieve these goals. Then this is such an important step. I want you to rate how likely it is that you think you will achieve these goals. And you can give yourself a mark out of 100. How likely it is that you think you will achieve or are worthy of achieving these goals that you've set for yourself. And by now, I'm hoping that you've set these fucking huge, scary, incredible goals for yourself. Because this is where this step is going to help you to build that belief and that confidence and that worth of achieving these goals. I love how I can see the captions on my phone screen and it senses up whenever I say fuck. Okay, so once you have rated yourself out of 100 of how likely it is that you think you can achieve these goals, this is where you can really start to see what you need to work on within yourself in order to overcome these limiting beliefs or these fears or these worth issues that you have that are holding you back from achieving these goals. So if it's around money, like I said, why don't you think it's possible for you to achieve a certain income goal? Dig deep, and then dig deeper, and then dig even deeper than that, because limiting beliefs can go so deep. But for instance, my limiting belief around money was that I'm not responsible enough to manage large amounts of money, right? So I was always constantly scared of earning more money because I thought I would just spend it all. And I think spending it all was something, and Mom, if you're watching this, I love you, but something that I'd seen my mom growing up, always spending money on me and my sister, really grateful. But always telling us not to tell your father. Do not tell your father how much money I spent on your goals because he will literally kill me. Not really, but yeah. So there was always this belief that I have to hide spending money, but like spending money was fun. But then also like not telling people, I don't know, there was just so much that went into that. So you really need to dig deep into these limiting beliefs that you have. Figure out where they came from. Because when you find the source, it's easy to cut them off. And when you find where and why you have these beliefs, it's a lot easier for you to now unravel them, detach from them, reframe them, and work on creating beliefs that are more empowering, more confident, more worthy. Oopsie. Sorry, I just want to see if there are any comments. All right. Then in the workbook, I only made one of these pages, but obviously if you want to print, you can print out as many as you want, 10 if you need for the 10 wishes. But this is where the taking action step is so important. And I also mentioned in the workbook that if you do not know how to do something, Google is your best fucking friend, right? We have so much access to information. We can take short courses. There are courses on Udemy that are like 150 Rand. We can Google and research how to do things, YouTube videos, tutorials, find a mentor. There's so many ways you can learn the ways to achieve certain goals. So this is such an important step. And what you can do in this white block here is put down that goal, write it in bold, write it as if it has already happened. Maybe write down your affirmation for that goal. And then start to list the steps you need to take in order to achieve that goal. It's as simple as that. It's just breaking down this big goal into small little steps. Because think about it, when you look at a project that you have and you look at it in its entirety, you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel stressed. You're going to feel like it is a hefty task that you will never be able to accomplish. But if you take that project and you break it down into smaller steps, it becomes a lot more manageable and it's not overwhelming because you know, all right, today I'm going to do this. That's all I need to do. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow I can take something else off the list. And also you might find things that will help you to achieve your goals that other people can step in and help you with. This is where collaboration comes in so handy. So this is such an important step. I mean, they're all important steps, but really just breaking down what you want to achieve into these small achievable steps so that you can start to work towards and build momentum towards achieving these goals. Hello, Shanna. Don't stress. We are almost at the end goal, but the replay will be up for the entire week. And it's a long one, sorry. I did not think it was going to be this long. Okay, then, so important, I put the slide in twice, surrender, surrender, surrender. And it's so funny that you popped on, Shanna, because this is something she's been chatting to me a lot about, but surrender. Does not mean giving up. It just means fully releasing control of how you think things should happen and handing it over to the universe and just having complete faith and trust that she got your back, right? Like I said, when you are in that control mindset and you are full steam ahead with those blinkers on, you are missing out on every avenue, every opportunity, every synchronicity, every person sent your way to help you to achieve these goals because you think that it's your way or the highway, right? But it's actually not going to help you at all because you are missing out on all the beautiful, easier, not necessarily easier, but more aligned ways of achieving a goal. And this is something better, right? The universe has the grandest plans for you if you believe in yourself and if you take those steps to achieve it. So if we go back to the action steps over here, remember, like I said, be open to change, be open to change, be open to change. Okay, so nothing's set in stone. The nature of life is that things are going to change. The only constant is change, right? So always be open to new avenues, new ways, new mindsets, new people, new ways of achieving this goal that aren't the way that you thought you were going to achieve this goal. Okay, hello Celeste. Alrighty. So I want to have a little, oh, my picture didn't load. I want to have a little time for Q&A. So if you have any questions, pop them in the comments. Here's hoping that they will show up. And if you're watching the replay, like I said, pop the questions in anyway, because I will just reply to the comments in the feed. And also, if there's something that comes up later that didn't come up now, any questions, you can always pop me a DM on Instagram or pop a message in the group. I'm always happy to help and assist you and yeah, just help to clarify everything you need to know in order to boost your manifestation process. Okay, so I'm just going to wait like 2 or 3 seconds for questions. While I'm waiting, this special announcement, guys, I'm so excited. This is honestly something that I have been manifesting and thinking about and trying to figure out how to bring it about for over a year. When I signed up with my first life coach, this was one of the ideas that we spoke about. And this is going back literally like over a year ago. And it's finally come to fruition. So I'm so excited. You guys are the first ones to hear about it. Introducing. Oh, sorry, lol. I'm like killing my own fire, but we'll get there. Introducing, okay, so basically, I've put a little slide that says, do you know what I absolutely love? And if you don't know what I love by now, you ain't watching closely, but I love helping women create lives that they cannot fucking wait to wake up to. And yes, it's not easy to get there. There are demons you need to face, but there are also fun, cool things that come with it too. So I have created a way that is accessible for you to join my circle and work with me and learn from me without having to do one of my high ticket offer courses. And this is why I've created, there we go, the Goddess Sisterhood. So this is a membership where goddesses alike come together to collaborate, to learn, to heal, where I will be teaching you lessons, giving you meditations, doing new moon or full moon rituals, and so much more. Let me just go to the next slide. So the idea around creating this membership was creating a sacred sisterhood where there's so much healing power in a circle of women coming together and just being vulnerable with each other, holding space for each other. supporting each other. So this was the whole idea behind it. So sacred sisterhood isn't about comfort and familiarity. It's about hearing another woman tell her truth in the moment, without attachment to her story, and with the privilege of witnessing her soul. Being part of a woman's circle creates a deep bond between women. Being part of a sacred sisterhood is about arriving, being your most authentic self, moment by moment. It's also about learning to love unconditionally, without attachment, with dignified boundaries. Owning your authentic and feminine power, sacred sister, sorry, obviously was on drugs there, not really, but I hate seeing spelling errors, enables you to be a better version of yourself and a better friend to everyone. In sacred sisterhood, you can truly open to receive and be the sacred expression of all that female friendships can be. So this is the vibe of the sacred sisterhood in the goddess sisterhood. So the reason I created this membership is that it's going to bring you so much magic, so much wisdom, so much everything to help you step into your highest you. Now, this is a membership where you are supported energetically with monthly workshops, ceremonies, meditations, rituals, and so much more, okay? So this is your doorway to fostering deeper connections, intimacy, and communication with yourself, with Mother Nature, with the divine, and in the sacred sistership with our sisters through mindset, Eastern and woo-woo wisdom, cycles, routines, and rituals, and so much more. Now, this will be your 24/7 portal for shifting and raising your frequency, connecting to source, and staying on your spiritual track every single day. Okay, so this will include monthly spiritual workshops, and each month will have a different theme. So I'll be covering all bases here, but these workshops will be covering things, the not so good things like shadow work, inner child, fear, ego, but the fun things as well, like stepping into your purpose, finding your passions, just all the beautiful sunshine, rainbow things of spirituality, releasing, surrender, manifestation, moon magic, all these beautiful things. Then there'll also be monthly meditations that will be on the portal, where you can really use them to firstly connect with the theme of the month, but then to connect with yourself, connect with the divine, connect with Mother Nature. And then live monthly moon rituals, similar to these, not as long, where we actually focus on the ritual for that zodiac sign to help you to align with, do the rituals, manifest, might not even be manifesting, might just be releasing or whatever it may be, just making a magical time together where we can do our rituals and routines together, because I think a lot of people need guidance. A lot of people don't know where to start, don't know what to do, and this is a perfect way to learn. And then there'll be so much more. I'll be teaching about the 12 rules of the universe. There'll be guest workshops from other ladies who will bring some incredible knowledge to you guys. Manifestation magic, obviously. There'll be the membership in the private Facebook group where we can all connect, share, learn, collaborate, and so much more. Surprise bonuses, gifts, reading, etc. So this is my latest offering. I'm so excited to bring it to you. Now nothing's working for me. Hopefully that wasn't an important slide. Oh, that was the most important one. It was the pricing. Let me just see what's happening here. La, la, la. Let me check your questions. Okay. That is not the one. Thank you. Here we go. Okay, so the nice thing about the membership as well is that there are two payment options. The one is month to month. So if you only want to be a part for a month, or something happens that you can't afford, you can cancel, no phase, no problem, and rejoin again when it suits you. Obviously, my hope is that you never want to cancel, because there's going to be so much juicy magic in this membership. But it's 333 Rand a month, which is literally sacrificing one date night at a restaurant, or 3 bottles of wine, or maybe one, depending on how expensive your tasting wine is. It really is just making that sacrifice of one small thing every month to invest in yourself, your self-improvement, your growth, your expansion, your spirituality, your confidence, stepping into your true self, connecting with your soul. There's just so many benefits to this membership. And then there's also the annual option where you can pay for the full year up front. And you actually land up saving, I didn't put it there, but I think it's 663 Rand, which is basically 2 months free. So those are the two payment options. It's really, really affordable. It's the most affordable way that you can work with me ever. And it's going to be such a beautiful way to connect with you guys and to connect with each other and to start rebuilding the trust that we need as females within each other, to each other. Okay, so that's my exciting announcement. I will pop the link to sign up for the wait list in the group after this. I haven't yet sorted out the payment portal, but I have a meeting on Friday. So when that's done, I'll be sending out the ways that you can really sign up. I'm planning on having the first live workshop on the full moon, which means this theme of this month will be letting go, which is beautiful, I think, because in order to make space, you need to release and let go. But yeah, if you're interested, I will drop the link in the group and you guys can sign up for the wait list. So I just want to read, oh, there's so many comments, guys. I love you all so much. Okay. Oh, Banks, didn't even see we're here. Thank you, my girl. Okay, Carla, your questions come up later. You know where to find me, girl. Holly, thank you for the beautiful workshop. Any tips on remaining consistent in these practices? I think with consistency, it boils down to how much you want it. And I know it sounds so funny, but like at the end of the day, your priority, your number one priority should be yourself and creating the life that you have envisioned for yourself. So if you need tools to help you stay consistent, such as rituals, maybe putting lists together, maybe doing one thing a day, whatever it works for you, do that. But I think just remembering your why. Why do I want to achieve this? And hopefully it means it's going to help you to achieve your highest you. I mean, you can Google ways to keep motivated, but for me, I find when I really set my heart and soul on something and I know the abundance it's going to bring me, there's nothing that's going to fucking stop me, and especially not me, because I'm the only thing that I can control. So in me not sticking to something and keeping motivated and keeping going, I'm literally shooting myself in the foot. I hope that helps. Okay, thanks, Asma. Thanks, Natalie. Yeah, write those goals down, girl. Okay, Nadine says thoughts on a burn note during a moon ritual as significance of letting go. I just love the symbolism of it. So, I mean, a lot of people do burn things when they set goals, but I'm like, how are you going to look back and see if you've achieved those goals? But when it comes to letting go and release, I think burning is such a beautiful way of letting go. You're basically burning that shit up and letting it out into the universe, being like, I'm done, goodbye. Make space for more happiness, more fulfillment, more abundance. Okay, what is the best way to track the moon? Do you use an app? So I've actually just downloaded a moon app, which I think was like 75 Rand for the year. And that shows you the phases of the moon. Let me quickly see if I can show you on the screen. It's literally called The Moon. I don't know if you can see, but it's that one down there. And obviously I'm on iPhone, so I don't know if they have for Android and all that. But just look, go on your app store and see what options they have. There are lots of apps you can use to track the moon. Otherwise, just Google it as well. Google is my best friend. Okay. Then, Claudie. Oh, girl, I love you so much. Love you more than life itself. Okay, Nadine, I'm so freaking ready for tonight's new moon ritual. Thank you, beautiful goddess, for your hard work, late nights, and effort and energy and fucking pure force that you are. Appreciate you so much, girl. I appreciate you too. Nadine actually made the most gorgeous video for the last goddess ritual box. Don't know if you saw it, but girl, I'm obsessed. And on that note, I have 3 manifesting goddess ritual boxes left that are looking for their forever home. So if you want to take that next step into your manifestation and get the tools that will help you to manifest to your heart's desire, then let me know, because I've got 3 boxes left. Okay, Asma says, when we create vision board, what we are seeing it today, but manifestation rule is that don't get attached. If we're seeing all the time. Okay, so that's why I said attachment is such a hard thing to wrap your mind around. It's just releasing your attachment to the way that you think you want that goal to manifest. So like I said, the universe is either going to give you this or something better. We just are control freaks by nature. So we attach ourselves to, it has to be that specific job, that specific car, that specific house, that specific person. And we miss out all the other beautiful things that come along our way because we're so attached to a specific way. So I hope that helps a little bit. Okay. Yay, guys, loving all your reactions to the membership. I think if this is something that calls at you, you definitely have to at least sign up for the wait list because it's going to be the most magical thing. I don't think there's anything like this with coaches in South Africa, which means they're not going to be as affordable as this one, but it's just such a beautiful way for you to increase your knowledge, to increase your wisdom, to find sisters that resonate with you and that are there to support you and build you up and listen to you and hold space for you. We have a huge lack of sisterhood these days from patriarchy and all that it's ripped away from us as divine feminine goddesses. Okay, Nadia, I'm sure you've hopped off, but thank you for coming. Yes, Shanna, red taint vibes all the way. Okay. It's the threes for me, girl. You know, I'm all about the angel numbers. Cost in US dollars, Asma, I will have to work out for you. What I'll do is I'll set up a payment link on my actual PayFast account because that'll be a lot easier. But I think it works out to, we can just say $22 per month or $222 for the year. Okay. Awesome, ladies. Thank you so much. And gentlemen, if Andy's still here, thank you so much for spending 2 full hours with me. I'm sorry it went so long. Also, let me just show you my vision board so long while I'm saying my goodbyes. But I love you guys so much. Honestly, I would be literally twiddling my thumbs and speaking to myself without you. So thank you for showing up. I really hope that you gained something from this workshop. If not, lots of things that are going to help you to boost your manifestation process. Just remember the rules, the golden rules. If you stick to those, everything else will fall into place. Yeah, and just thank you guys so much. This is my vision board. Yoga. That's, where's my arrow? That's me coaching. By investing in myself, my success is inevitable, and that has like shown me tenfold. I've literally surpassed my expectations. This is me and my sacred sistership circle with my clients, and now with membership. Money, holding the world in my hand. I'm courageous and speak my truth. My throat chakra energy has literally been released and boosted to the maximum this year. I love me is just focusing on self-love, and then things to focus on: your purpose in life, your health, your mental wellness, having more happy time, carrying less stress, simplifying your life, being productive, being confident, taking chances. I can't read the rest because my thing's in the way, but this is such a beautiful way to put a vision board together. If you don't want to print it out or do the old school thing where you cut shit out of the newspaper, the magazines. I'm just like, how do you find the things you want in a magazine when you can just find them on Pinterest? So whatever works for you. But guys, I don't want to take up any more of your time. Thank you so much. Like I said, if you have any questions, put them in the group, message me on Instagram. I'll put the link to the sign up for the Goddess Sisterhood in the group. But I love you all and have a beautiful new moon evening. Bye, guys. Stop share. Sorry, this is awkward. I cannot get off. Bye.